And hello everyone, this is Hochi of the SOTOR Elder Game Podcast. I'm here today working with Gaddick Teague. We're going to bring you this guide to the Dread Fortress Operations 4th boss, Corruptor Zero. Let's get started. So let me start off by giving you a quick rundown of the various droids that you'll be dealing with during this encounter, because honestly, the main boss, Corruptor Zero, is just a pushover. He is simple, but you really have to have good ad management to bring this fight down. So let me go over the ads. First off, you've got the D03 repair droids. These droids have 27,477 HP. The only thing you'll see them do is a 2.5 second cast, which says Major Reconstruction. This is a heal that you can interrupt, and it should always be interrupted if possible. Then you have the D15 Corruption Droid. This is an elite with 110,915 HP. The only thing I believe they'll do is a 2-second cast, which is Missile Salvo. This is an AoE that should always be interrupted. It'll stun you and do about 8,000 damage if you don't. Next we have the D13 Corruption Droid, an elite with 56,521 HP. They do a 1.5 second cast called Electric Burst. This is another AoE that should be interrupted. It'll stun you and do about 7,000 damage. And finally, we have the D09 Corruption Droid and the D02 Corruption Droid. They're both strongs with 43,818 HP. The 09 will do a Missile Blast, a Sweeping Slash, Single Laser. I mean, nothing really major. The 02 will do a half-second cast, High Velocity round that does about 4,500 damage, so nothing major here. One thing to keep in mind is these droids do not have boss immunity of any type. They are CCable, stunnable, etc. So if you're having an issue dealing with like the D15's Missile Salvo while trying to kill the repair droids or something, you can CC them. I prefer personally to just AoE them down and not worry about that, so just depending on your composition and how much DPS you have, make that choice on your own. Now at the start of this fight, you will start with all of the ads and Corruptor Zero will not be out yet, so this is a good opportunity to get familiar with the order of killing these droids. And here again, there are multiple ways of doing this. Some people do prefer to start with the repair droids. Personally, I have a different method. So the starting makeup of the droids, you'll have 2 D03 repair droids, a D15 corruption droid, a D13 corruption droid, and then 3 D09 corruption droids and 3 D02 corruption droids. My method would be, I prefer to start on the D15 corruption droid, have everybody DPS them down really quickly, and maybe one other person that peels off to interrupt the D13. Once the D15 goes down, kill the D13. Once he goes down, you're going to go over to the repair droids in the back, and you're going to kill them down. And then it's just free for all. Kill whatever you want. Obviously, before the fight starts, you'll precast your flybys, or your orbital strikes, and all your AoEs, and just kill everything as quickly as possible, because as soon as these ads go away, Corruptor Zero is going to drop down. Now when Corruptor Zero is down, you'll see he's got 2,260,403 HP. He's got quite a few moves. You'll see a half-second cast called Massive Slam. This is just an unavoidable AoE. It'll deal around 4,000 damage. You'll also see a 3.5 second cast for Heavy Slash. This will be on a tank. It'll do a good bit of damage, so the healers and the tanks just need to be aware of it. It will also leave a physical bleed at the end, so that can be cleansed by your Scoundrel, Operative, Merc, Commandos. He also does a 4-second cast called Chest Laser. That's just a dot. It can also be cleansed. It's a tech. Then there's a 3-second cast, Missile Barrage. This is just an unavoidable AoE that deals around 1.6 thousand damage. You can spread out to lessen the damage, but I never do that. There is a tank swap mechanic, so be sure to swap around 3 to 4 stacks and save your cooldowns for after that 3rd stack. Then you have some of his more important moves. A 1.5 second cast called Concussion Mine. This is a stacking debuff that will be like a bomb that blows up on you and does damage. At 1 stack it's around 5,000, and then it goes up, to 7.5 thousand and 10,000 with each stack. Now the secret here is that the Concussion Mine comes out at pretty regular intervals, not exactly, but close. And you can actually avoid all damage with the Concussion Mine. The secret would be to have everybody stack on the boss within melee range, which is less than 4 meters, although you might as well stack, about a meter away just to be safe. everybody including ranged. And that this way, when he casts the concussion mine, it won't even go out to anybody. There'll be 0 damage. The issue here is, what about the adds? Because you're going to have the adds coming out. Now the secret there is the boss has a melee mode and a ranged mode. So if the boss is in melee mode, the adds will be in ranged mode. They will not move. In this case, hopefully you'll just get lucky and the adds will all be within like 30 to 35 meters. So if you've got gunslingers or snipers, they can still DPS down the adds from wherever the boss is standing. You could also relocate the boss. And now if the boss is in ranged mode, all you gotta do is drag the adds over to the boss. This way everybody can stay stacked up and you don't have to worry about it. If you can't do this for any reason, just make sure somebody's calling out the concussion mine when it goes out so that that person can get back into melee range on the boss before the bomb explodes more than once. You also have a 3-second cast called Antigravity Field. This will be a large red circle on the ground underneath him that you must run out of. If you don't get out of it, he'll stun you and push you back and do a ton of damage, and so you really want to avoid that. Now the other secret here that a lot of guides don't mention, I mean in fact I haven't seen a single guide mention, is that the anti-gravity fields come out on a regular basis that is easy to determine. Basically, when you start off the fight, 3 seconds in you'll get a concussion mine. Now after about 20 more seconds you'll get another concussion mine. And after about 20 more seconds, you'll get a 3rd concussion mine, and that is your key. After the 3rd concussion mine, it's safe to move away from the boss, stop stacking, because about 10 seconds after that will be when the first anti-gravity field will come. Now after that anti-gravity field goes away, everybody stacks back up on the boss and waits for the next concussion mine, which seems to come about 10 seconds later. Once this concussion mine goes off, everybody again can back away from the boss. You have plenty of time here, but after about 15 seconds is when the next anti-gravity field will come. Now once that anti-gravity field is done, everybody will stack back up, because it'll be about 8 seconds before the next concussion mine goes out. And then they go back to pretty regular intervals. It's about 26 seconds, and then 20, and then 20. And then about 10 seconds after that 4th concussion mine goes out, you'll have another anti-gravity field that you need to move out of. And after this, I'm not really sure what the pattern is. It's about 12 seconds to the next concussion mine, and there may be another anti-gravity field. Normally the boss is down by then, so we don't have to worry about that. So once again, just to reiterate a little bit quickly, you have 3 concussion mines, back out for the anti-gravity field that's coming, go back in for 1 concussion mine, back out for the anti-gravity field that's coming, go back in and stack for 4 concussion mines, back out for the anti-gravity field that's coming, and then go back in for 1 more concussion mine and back out for the last anti-gravity field. Just keep in mind that during all of this chaos, you will be having the adds spawning pretty regularly. So once Corruptor 0 comes down, they spawn about 10 seconds into that, and then you take care of them the same way you do at the start, and you'll have the adds spawning about every minute thereafter. Now after that 3rd or 4th anti-gravity field, you'll be DPSing down Corruptor 0. Once he gets to about 20%, he will leap away. At this point, Corruptor 0 will spawn either in the north, south, east, or west end of the room. If you look at your minimap, it's like a plus sign. So for example, if he spawns in the south, you're going to want to go east or west to avoid a big laser beam that's going to be coming out from him. It's a 1.5 second cast called Unified Beam, and anything standing from south to north will get obliterated. So if he's in the south, you'll want to go east or west. If he's in the west or the east, you'll want to go north or south. Now to make this portion of the fight even trickier, when Corruptor 0 does spawn on one of the cardinal direction ends of the map, you'll also have 6 DO9 droids to deal with. So we typically like to group them up away from the rest of the group. So have one tank go east while everybody else in the group goes west, for example. You can bring them along with you. It's not a problem. Maybe just have a gunslinger or a sniper do his shield during that point to avoid some of the damage. Finish off those droids while avoiding the laser. Once Corruptor 0 has shot his unified beam from all 4 cardinal directions, you are safe to move in and DPS him down to victory. Simply have the tank face him away from the raid and relax with a pretty simple tank and spank for the final 20% of the fight. And with that, you've completed your weekly mission for Dread Fortress by downing Corruptor 0. Your reward will be an unassembled Dread Forged offhand weapon, a few random Oriconian pieces, and if you're lucky, a legacy-bound Corruptor blade. That's it for the Corruptor Zero guide. If you want to get in contact with me, my home on the web is hochishaven.com, where I post the weekly SWTOR Elder Game podcast. And of course, you can find Gaddock Teague at gaddockgaming.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.